for us. Is this sort of chips-only bill the path forward? Is this going to be the final solution?
It seems like we're moving in that direction. You have said that Schumer has said that earlier today. You saw Republican leadership, Republican leaders, Senator Cornyn, Senator Blunt, coming out saying they would be supportive of a much slimmed down version of the bill. It seems like Republicans and Democrats are coming to grips with the urgency of this situation. If this doesn't happen next week, China wins, the United States loses. It really is that simple. And so I'm starting to feel the urgency and coalescing around a really slimmed down version with a focus and priority on the CHIPS funding.
What changed, though? Because this is something that you guys have been working on for over a year. Why do you need to act now in order to make this happen when we're already hearing companies say they're making investments in Texas and Ohio and Arizona?
Yeah. Well, a couple things have changed. First of all, Ukraine, I think, has highlighted the fact that, there's 200 plus chips in every Javelin launching system. And our national defense contractors are working furiously with Ukrainian replenishment. And I think there's a real acknowledgement that this is a core national security issue. The United States of America makes no leading edge semiconductors on our shores. We buy them all from Taiwan. All of the new legacy chip capacity that's come online in recent years is from China. And so I think that the focus on the national security element of this bill, which has been brought into focus, obviously due to the war in Europe, has had senators and congresspeople really come to grips with the reality. But the other thing, which is why it has to happen next week, is, earlier this week, Global Foundries was in France announcing an expansion there, not in the United States, because France provided an incentive. You see Global Wafers saying it'll either be Texas or South Korea, depending on whether CHIPS passes this summer. So the point of it is, the U.S. is going to lose out, quite literally this summer, to Europe or Asia if Congress doesn't move.
But there are lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, from Bernie Sanders to Rick Scott, who say, this $52 billion is basically just a corporate handout. What do you say to them?
I would say this is a national security imperative, period, full stop. It is an untenable, dangerous situation that the United States is in, where we are utterly dependent on Taiwan, overly dependent on China for supply of the most critical product for our military and for our economy, truthfully, for our entire economy, for innovation. So we just have to do it. And by the way, other countries are passing us by. Right. And so it's just time to act.
You say that this investment is needed now, but these are going to be long-term investments. They're not going to pay off for years to come. But yet at the same time, we're facing raging inflation here at home. You have reports that Intel is going to be raising prices of some of its chips by as much as 20%. How does that help solve that problem now?
Yes, candidly, it does take years. It'll take a couple of years for these new facilities to be up and running, and so it doesn't provide much relief today. You saw today Toyota is shutting down an operation in Texas because of lack of chips. Car companies have furloughed so many workers. So we have to get through the immediate crisis. However, we also have to start now, because shame on, if Congress leaves for August and this isn't passed, and these companies go build in Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, Europe, we lose out, and we lose out forever. They only make, one mega fab $20 billion investment once. And so we're playing for the long game here. We're playing for America's long-term national security, but we have to move now if we're going to, have the window to make this reality.
Secretary Raimondo, thank you so much for taking the time out. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Kelly, I'll send it back to you.
As the